Alright, here we've got multiplying polynomials. Directions are simple, just multiply. And it looks kind of similar to our FOIL method, except notice that this isn't just a binomial. There's actually 3 terms there. So the thing to be aware of is that it's sort of the same idea as FOIL. It's just a little more complex, which doesn't make it more challenging, or well, it might make it more challenging. It doesn't make it more difficult. It just makes it a little bit longer, and that's okay. We can handle that. Basically, it means that this term has to be multiplied by every single term in the other parentheses, and also this term, the -2, has to be multiplied by each of the others. Okay, so one way to think about that is here in this breakdown. Here's the original problem, and it just takes this first term and this whole thing and combines them together, and then the second part and this whole thing again gets repeated, so that in each of those we can distribute. The 4x gets distributed, and then the -2 gets distributive. So it's just like a big long distributive property. Either way, any way you think about this is going to work just fine, as long as you just keep track that everything in the first parentheses has to be multiplied by everything in the second parentheses. So in this problem, when we do work through that, 4x times a 5x gives the 20x squared. 4x times the 2y gives a positive 8xy, etc. Here we have an 8x, a -10x, a -4y, and a -4. Now, the next thing we need to do is look for like terms. Okay, notice here we've got a positive 8x and a -10x. Those are like terms. And check to see, are there any other x squareds? No. Any other xy's? No. Any other y's? No. Any other constants? No. So these two actually go together, so that our final answer is going to look like this. It'll be the 20x squared plus the 8xy, and then this gives a -2x, then -4y, and -4. Ta-da! All good. Okay, here's another example. Now in this one you'll notice that the trinomial is written first. That's okay. It doesn't matter whether you decide to take each of these and multiply individually, like so, 3 little parts, or vice versa, because it all works the same way. You could start with this one and multiply it by all 3 of these, and then take the -2 and multiply it by all 3. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer either way. Now if you look at ALEKS, it'll show you the first way, because it uses consistently taking the first one and breaking it up into little parts. But personally, I like doing it the second way because it's just a little bit shorter. I'm going to take this 6u plus 6w minus 3 times the 3u minus 2w, and I'm going to recognize that I could rewrite it. I could switch this direction, right? Because anything a times b is exactly the same as b times a, right? A times b equals b times a. So if this is the a and this is the b, we could just switch it, and we can say, oh, that's the same thing as 3u minus 2w times the quantity 6u plus 6w minus 3. And then I could use the distributive property for the 3. Boom, boom, boom. And then another distributive property for the -2w. Dun, dun, dun. And let's see what we get. 3u times the 6u is an 18u squared. 3u times the 6w is a positive 18 uw, and a 3u times a negative 3 is a minus 9u. Now continuing, negative 2w times the 6u is a negative 12 uw. Whoops, what did I do? Oh yeah, negative, I lost track, but I got myself back on here. Negative 2w times the 6w is a negative 12w squared, and then the negative 2w times the negative 3 is a positive 6w. Now we have to look for like terms. So here we've got w squared. Do we have any other w squareds? No. Alright, here I've got an 18 uw. Do I have any other uw's? Yes, I do, right here. Okay, so these two go together. So since I don't have any other 18u squareds, I can just write that down, 18u squared, and mark it off. 18uw minus 12uw is a 6uw, so I could write 6uw, and I'm done with those two terms. Then we got to check. Here's a minus 9u. Are there any other u's? No. So I can just write that down. Minus 9u. Cross it out. Here's a minus 12w squared. No other w squareds. So that stays as a minus 12w squared. Mark it off. And then I'm just left with the plus 6w. Mark it off. And we're all done. That's our answer. Pretty big, but it's okay.